It's November and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, money, authors, games, and more. Welcome to the November edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. I am happy to report that the Library Board of Control has approved our strategic plan update, which highlights 6 specific goals and objectives. First, improving the patron experience. Second, expanding outreach and community partnerships. Third, the importance of developing programs, services, and collections to meet the changing needs and diverse interests of our community. Fourth, a focus on providing equitable access and support for current and emerging technologies. Fifth, the need to create and maintain welcoming spaces throughout the community. And lastly, to continually develop our staff. The entire plan can be found on the website in the About Us page. In other news, our annual Sock It To Me campaign kicks up on November 1st and runs through the middle of December. Game On International Game Day is coming up soon. Saturday, November 19th is a day totally devoted to games. All kinds of games. Board games, card games, tabletop games, life-size games, virtual reality games. Games for all ages and abilities. It pairs nicely with our circulating games and family activity kits and programs like the Grown Up Gaming League. Our virtual author talks feature Lisa Napoli with her biography of the 4 women whose voices defined NPR, Susan, Linda, Nina, and Koki. We'll also hear Bonnie Garmus talk about her best-selling novel, Lessons in Chemistry, and Kwame Christian chatting about his new book, How to Have Difficult Conversations About Race. Then Sean Riley, CEO of Lamar Advertising, is the speaker for this month's Business Forum. Tim the Magician will bring his magnificent magic show to a library near you with a show planned for every branch starting on November 12th and running through December 29th. Make this a fun holiday outing for the family. The Baton Rouge Symphony pops up with a noontime concert at the main library. Garden Discoveries focus on crepe myrtles. GIS Day maps lightning strikes as well as litter. You'll just have to consult the November source or visit the library's website and the online calendar at ebrpl.com to get the full calendar of events.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
Did you ever hear the expression, there's 2 sides to every story? Well, most likely there are 3 or 4 or even more aspects to a story or conversation about almost any big issue under discussion today. And the library has valuable tools to help you figure it out and draw your own conclusions. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints is the premier online resource covering today's hottest social issues, from capital punishment to immigration to marijuana. Informed, differing views help learners develop critical thinking skills and to draw their own conclusions. With over 20,000 pro-con viewpoints, approximately 19,000 reference articles, interactive maps, infographics and more, students will be prepared to argue any side of the issue and will always have the citations to back it up. Content is aligned to national standards and Common Core state standards. While primarily aimed at grades 9 through 12, it can be a really useful tool for anyone looking to get a deeper understanding of a contentious issue. Find more articles for homework assignments in our other resources, EBSCOhost, Explorer and Sage journals, all available from home with your library card in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
It's so important that students develop critical thinking skills. It all starts with discernment about what is reliable information as opposed to what's just a good soundbite. And then all the information behind each position on a particular topic. A lot of adults consult opposing viewpoints and other library resources before making up their minds about important issues too. All you need is that library card.
My name is Adam St. Pierre. I'm the STEM librarian at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, and today is the Baton Rouge Maker Faire. The Baton Rouge Maker Faire is a family-friendly event that celebrates creativity and DIY culture. We've got so much going on. We've got so many nature and sustainability things this year because our theme is reduce, reuse, remake. We also have plenty of robotics here today, robotics with schools. We've also got kilns and clay making and CNC machines, just a whole bunch of fun stuff. We've even got pickling. So it's a great day. Chef Parola is our headliner this year. He has a book coming out called Can't Beat 'Em, Eat 'Em.
My name is Chef Philippe Parola. I'm the author of Can't Beat 'Em, Eat 'Em. It's a cookbook about edible and invasive species, and we're here to promote the edibility of those invasive species. And this book literally has 40 invasive species on it, with each one a innovative simple recipe to encourage people to go in the wild and harvest, trap fish, get them and eat them, cook them and eat them.
His book also has plenty of other recipes and also a little bit about the economics of how we can use invasive species and eating them to save our planet.
When I talk to people like this, I got 40 invasive species on my book, they were like, what? I have no idea they had that many, and that's a drop in the bucket.
Oh, come on, foul play, foul play.
Every time I do the Baton Rouge Maker Faire, I just learn how creative, how passionate, and how, I want to say, connected Baton Rouge is, because we say DIY, but it's really do it together. It takes a team of people to do creative things. We host the Baton Rouge Maker Faire every year, we being the library, because the library offers access to education and informational resources of all types. And this is educational and informational and fun resources of people that are doing great things in our community.
What do you want to make?
If you're the maker type and you missed the Baton Rouge Maker Faire, we have 4 maker spaces throughout the parish at the Bluebonnet Library, the Downtown Library, the Greenwell Springs Library, and the Jones Creek Library. But we have awesome crafts and events at all of our libraries, so check your monthly newsletter, The Source.
It's so invigorating to wander through the Maker Faire and see how people just light up as they engage with makers and creators. I love the fact that we not only attract makers of all ages and interests, but also all ages of participants. And don't forget, you can keep that spirit of making alive all year long by taking part in library workshops and classes, either in person or online. Plus, the badging classes for library maker spaces also offer a great way to open up the world of making to your family or club. Stay right there. After the break, Paul Mawson of local public radio station WRKF joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available for free through the Libby app. Grant free access to unlimited streaming music and video through Freegal, Canopy, and IndieFlix. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the November edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. I mentioned the importance of continuing outreach and strengthening partnerships as one of the major goals in the updated strategic plan. The library treasures its partnerships with community agencies such as WRKF, our local public radio station. We recently worked with them on a wonderful program featuring journalist, commentator, and author Steve Roberts, and we're about to partner with them for something completely different, a new financial literacy conference called Money Moves Baton Rouge. Paul Mawson, WRKF's general manager, joins me now to share what's planned. Okay, Paul, it's 89.3 on my radio dial.
All right.
But when I think WRKF, I think news, information, and culture. Financial literacy is not something that I associate with public radio. Why this topic and why now?
Well, sure. Well, Mary, first of all, thanks for having me on today. And, you know, Louisiana ranks at or near the bottom in these lists of states
Yes.
for basic financial literacy. And we're talking about basic financial literacy. And so we thought it would be a really good idea to try to do something about that. So we've set up this Money Moves Baton Rouge, which is a free conference. It's open to everybody, open to the public, and it's all designed for basic financial literacy. We're talking about budgeting, what's credit, what's a credit score, all these kind of things.
And the opposite of credit is debt.
Yeah, well, there you
right?
go. Well,
Yes.
and budgeting, how to do a budget. This is all designed to be basic financial building blocks for everyday work, every day for everybody to utilize.
So Adulting 101 would include this conference.
Absolutely, and there'll be a couple of tracks that'll be available at this conference. By the way, it's going to be at Baton Rouge Community College on November the 12th.
Another wonderful partner for the library.
Absolutely, and that'll be in the
Saturday.
morning. Yeah, in the morning. We start at 9 o'clock. I think we have 8:30 to 9 people come in. And then you figure out which of the sessions, and they're just information sessions. This is not like a high-end investor kind of
Right,
thing.
there's
This
no
is basic.
sales.
No sale. Nobody's selling anything. This is all just really important, useful, actionable, basic financial literacy principles and things like that that you can use in your daily life. And again, it's designed for everybody. And it's free and open to the public.
So if I'm just starting out, fresh out of high school, I should attend. If I'm someone like me, 65 plus, thinking about retirement, I should attend. Maybe I've got young children, I'm trying to plan for our future as a family and their future. There's tracks for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a website, moneymovesbr.org, that you can check that out. Or you can go to wrkf.org and we link
There
to that.
you go.
And put that all together. And again, you know, I want to thank Regions Bank, which is our title sponsor on this. They're helping us to make this available for free to everybody. And of course, our partnership with the library too is very important as well. And I think that the idea is just let's get some information to people so that they can use it. And then Louisiana doesn't have to be on the bottom of that list.
That's right.
I think
So
that's the idea.
Another way to grow capacity for our community and lift everybody up, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. And if we have so many families struggling, they're only one paycheck away from disaster. This is really an important social concern.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many sort of connected pieces to all this. You know, if you can get the basics of financial management and those kind of things together, it creates opportunity in other areas. And so that's the idea. This is a start, you know, and we hope that this becomes an annual event and we can do this and grow this into something really useful for the community. Again, free for attendees and open to the public. So we invite everybody to come.
Right, so Saturday, November 12th at BRCC's beautiful Magnolia Library, right there in the middle and then all around. Where do folks register?
They can go to two places. You can go to wrkf.org or you can go to moneymovesbr.org. You can register, it's free. You can also walk up, you know, the day of. We don't want to discourage anybody from coming, but once again, it's absolutely no cost to attend or anything like that.
So I can only imagine, the library will be there, but I can only imagine if even 10% of the people that arrive make a positive change that very day, you know, the ripple effect of that is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, I think you'll come and you'll attend, and you're going to pick up a couple of things that you can use right away. Again, nobody's selling anything or anything like that.
Right.
This is strictly information for you to use from people who who know how to do these things and can help you. So.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. I truly appreciate how wide-ranging WRKF's programming is, not only through engaging commentators speaking on so many different topics, but also with educational programs designed to build capacity within the community. You are lifting us up. The library will be there too to share wonderful tools and resources available to help your family manage its money and plan for the future. Weiss Financial Ratings platform in the digital library is just the start. After the break, author Barry Jarrow plus book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Permit free access to niche magazines and articles through PressReader. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says,
Welcome back to the November edition of the Library Roadshow. Good books come from good imaginations, and my next guest certainly has that. Barry Jarrow was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Barry made a career for himself in the U.S. Coast Guard, which is where he got hooked on the ocean and boats. Barry now lives on the Louisiana coast on a sailboat, and he sails, writes, and enjoys painting the local wildlife with his dog, Garçon. Barry joins me by phone to talk about his new book entitled The Adventures of Choo Choo and Chipper Two. Barry, how did you get your start as an author?
I was interested as an author because I wanted to show kids good morals.
What is The Adventures of Choo Choo and Chipper Two about?
The book's about a parrot and a little dog, and the stories about they're going on a adventure down to Louisiana, going on a swamp tour. They see all kinds of things and enjoy all kinds of Cajun food and learn about the Cajun way of life on the bayou.
What inspired you to write this book?
The reason I wrote this story was I had a parrot and a dog, and they hated each other. And so I decided I was going to write a story or a series of them where they love their best of friends, and they go on all kinds of adventures. And this is only the first book of a series of adventure stories that go on.
What advice would you give to aspiring authors?
My advice to new authors is make sure you know your characters well. Be ready for some hard work. If the book's worth its salt, it's worth the hard work that you put into it.
How can viewers learn more about you and your work?
You can find my book on Amazon eBooks. Also, The Adventures of Choo Choo and Chipper Two. That's on eBooks. And then BarryJarrowBooks.com is a press release all about the book and me.
Thanks, Barry. Viewers of any age can learn more about Louisiana wildlife. Check out books filled with the wonderful photographs of C.C. Lockwood, Audubon field guides, and so much more. Librarians are happy to help you dig a little deeper. It's now time to check in with one of our younger patrons to find out what they've been reading at the library.
Hi, my name is Lena. I'm 6 years old, and my favorite book is Dragons Love Tacos. Dragons Love Tacos is about the boy. The boy is going to throw a taco party, but there's a little problem with that because dragons hate spicy tacos, but if he feeds them even a little bit of spicy salsa, they'll breathe out fire. My mommy takes me to the library. When I come to the library, I like to read books and play on the computers.
Thanks, Lena. Stay right there. You're watching the November edition of the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library System believes that knowing where you come from is good for us all. That's why we grant free access to genealogy resources available through Ancestry.com, make the vast historic resources of Heritage Quest available to you online. Get a library card. Get your family tree at ebrpl.com/genealogy.
You're watching the November edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. This year's author-illustrator was none other than David Biedrecke. Dave is the nationally acclaimed author and illustrator of hit children's books like Sumo Kitty and Invasion of the Unicorns. Dave recently came to Baton Rouge to talk to our library patrons about his projects and his process.
Yeah, it's done. I can't eat anymore, Mom. Yeah. My name is David Biedrecke. You may know me from the books I've created. I'm an author and illustrator. Actually, I consider myself an author-rater. That's like 50% author, 50% illustrator. You smush the two of them together and you have me. I'm the author-rater of Sumo Kitty, Invasion of the Unicorns, Bear Alert, Me and My Dragon, and my newest is going to be Sumo Puppy, which is going to be out, I think, in 2 weeks. I have a new book that's going to be coming out next week. It's called Sumo Puppy. It's the sequel to Sumo Kitty. I actually finished writing and illustrating this book in January, but I had to wait until next week for the book to be published. It's really tough for me to be quiet about a story. We are at the main library in Baton Rouge, and today I'm going to be giving a presentation about how I create my books, how I do my artwork, and all sorts of fun little things that you may not know about me, and also about how I create books. I wish I was faster. I wish I could draw as quickly as you see those movies happening, because I'd have a book done by lunchtime. It would be really great. All my artwork is done digitally, so I use either an iPad or an iMac. I try to make my artwork look like it's not done on the computer. I try to make it look like it's done like either with watercolors or color pencil or pencils. So it's a process that I use to kind of fool your eyes, to make you believe that it's actually done with traditional media. They're created using an iPad app called Procreate. Procreate's only $10, and what I love about it is that it makes a movie out of what you create. So I take that movie and I add music to it, and then I put it into my presentation, so you get to see the whole drawing kind of happen right in front of you. What goes into creating a story? First of all, most of my stories start off with an idea or a drawing. And usually if I'm very excited about a drawing that I've created, I kind of think about putting it to a story or putting words to it. And it's basically, I write and I draw at the same time. So if I'm doing a drawing and it feels really good, I start adding words to it. And then when I'm stuck on the words, I start doing more drawings. So basically, I draw and write together to create a story. This drawing was done on an airplane when I was heading from Chicago, Illinois to Boston. And it's 2.5 hours from wheels up to wheels down. So that's how long this drawing took me, 2.5 hours to complete. So I thought I'd put this up there and show it to you. Before COVID hit, I was visiting about 100 schools a year. Generally, my programs last about an hour to maybe 45 minutes for the younger groups. I show them how I create my stories, take my ideas, turn them into pictures, and then I also create a picture for them using my computer. I have right here, I have a graphic tablet that I bring with me, and I use my laptop, and I have a stylus that I draw using either Procreate or Photoshop. So I create artwork right in front of them. Girls, thank you so much for writing these books. So nice to meet you. I love what I do. I first started off my career as a advertising illustrator. I worked in that field until like the mid-90s. Then I met another author. His name's Jerry Pallotta. I started illustrating some of his books. But then I said to myself, you know what? I think I could write my own stories. So I started creating my own stories, and that's when everything kind of took off. And these days, I've created 32 books to date. I'm working on number 33 and 34 right now, and I'm about as happy as I have ever been in my life.
Our 45th author-illustrator did not disappoint. This year's program was marvelous. Kids, parents, teachers, and librarians all enjoyed their time with author-rater Dave Bedrecki. It is fascinating to see how an idea becomes a story and a story becomes a book. Gives us all kinds of inspiration. If you missed Dave's appearance, come on into the children's room at any library location and check out some of his books, because you know we've got them all.
We're at the River Center Library downtown, and this is Attic Treasures and Collectibles event. Attic Treasures and Collectibles event is an opportunity for people to bring up to 3 items that they want to have evaluated. The specialists who are in different areas such as jewelry and painting and even general collections can look at and appraise their items and let them know whether or not it has value and give them some history about the item as well. This year I'm seeing a lot of cameos come in that I haven't seen in the past. We're seeing more paintings come in, some Eastern Asian art as well, ceramics and glassware, and some military items too.
The first things have been some colored stone jewelry, and in gold and white gold and yellow gold, and also diamonds. We've seen a nice diamond and opal ring with a European cut, an old European cut diamond. Nice grade of stone.
It is a community event. They can get some historical, cultural perspective on the items that they've either collected or inherited from their families. And it's just a great way to see their role of collecting is within the community. The River Center is great in that it's a newer building. It's got a wonderful perspective and looking in the middle of downtown, the heart of the city. And it originated here at the River Center 22 years ago. So in a way, it's coming back home to its original location.
I'm freshly inspired to use the Library Antiques Price Guide database and all the cool books for collectors to find out more about some of my oldest or weirdest belongings. Find out about other engaging programs in this month's issue of The Source, available in print at any library location and online at ebrpl.com. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/ebrpl. What's happening for family game night at your house? Any library trivia? Or how about Pictionary based on classic books? Show us. That's facebook.com/ebrpl. And while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in December? Season's readings, plus Tim the Magician.
Tune into the show next month and I'll share another free resource from inside the digital library at ebrpl.com.
Tune in next month and I'll take you to a program at a branch near you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow, and remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.